When adolescents try to quit using, building healthy, recovery-oriented support networks are a critical piece of their success. Identifying healthy support systems can be challenging and may take time. So it's important to think about enhancing the social support network as a starting point to build on in future meetings together.
Most clients, and especially young ones, are resistant to the idea of giving up relationships with friends and family members that they have used with. Using the MI principles, it is important to roll with resistance and avoid argumentation. If a client is resistant, try not to emphasize giving up people in their lives, but rather building support for when they determine to stay clean.
As with the previous cognitive behavior therapy sessions, the Enhancing the Social Support Network model adheres to the following 6 elements: introducing the skill and providing a rationale, reviewing the key aspects of the skill, coaching the individual through using the skill, having the client demonstrate the skill in session, assigning real-life practice, and getting a commitment specific to date and time for completion. Here, the provider introduces the topic of social supports and begins to help the client identify the supports in her life.
Okay, today we're going to talk about sources of social support in your life. Now, can you think of ways that having social support could be helpful to you?
I guess it's important to have people who care about me.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And oftentimes people don't have as much support as they want or need. And having social support is very important because it gives you the confidence that you need in your ability to deal and cope with things that you're going to have to go through in your life. Now, we're going to talk about the different types and sources of support and take a look at how those connect to where you are in your life and with your life goals. So, I want to start by taking a look at this sheet, which talks about the different sources and types of support. Now, when you think about people who can support you, I want you to think about people who are usually supportive, like your family, your friends, acquaintances, maybe other members of your community. People who are usually neutral, these are people that have nothing against you, and people who are not usually supportive, but maybe would be if you showed them that you were putting forth effort or if you even approached them and reached out to them. Now, who are some people that you already use for support in your life?
My grandma and her husband. They always support me and try to help me do my best.
Okay, great. Now, how about people in your life who maybe are more neutral? Maybe people who would be supportive of you if you reached out to them?
I don't know. Most of the people I know use.
That's perfectly normal. Most people tend to hang out with other people who have similar interests. It's kind of like that shrinking of the social circle that we talked about earlier. The more that you use, the more people that you hang out with will use too. Now, it can be hard to reach out with people that maybe we don't know or are not as comfortable with, but it's very important to have people in your life that will help you reach your goals.
Yeah, but I don't want to give up my friends. It's not like they pressure me or anything. They accept me for who I am. Some of them are even trying to help me by not letting me smoke when I'm around them.
The friends that you have now are really important to you. They get who you are, and they'll support you in your goal to quit, even if they're not willing to quit themselves. I want to talk about adding to the support that you already have, okay? So can you think of anybody who might be an additional support to you if you just reached out to them? These could be people maybe in the co-op where you live or in the GED program.
That guy Kyle, his staffer at the co-op, he's pretty cool. He's always telling me the things I'm doing good at, and when I screw up, he doesn't go off on me or anything. There's Sarah. She's one of the people in my GED program. She seems pretty nice and is funny too.
Okay, that's great. It sounds like your grandparents are a for sure support, and I think Kyle and Sarah are a support or could be. It's really good to have people that you feel connected to, and these people are all a good start. There are also different types of support that people who are in our life can give us. Can you read those types of support for me from that list?
Help with problem solving. Someone good at thinking of options. Moral support. Offers encouragement and understanding. Sharing a load. Help with getting things done. Information about activities, transportation, getting a job. Emergency help for small loans, needed items, and a ride.
Okay, Now, when you think about these types of support, which ones do you think will be most important to you?
I don't really need help problem solving. Like I said, I've been on my own enough. I know how to do that. My grandma and her husband always encouraged me to do my best. Kyle, too. Having information when I need it is pretty important because I'm trying to be able to live on my own. Emergency help, too, because I've been in some bad spots.
Okay, so if I hear you right, it sounds like moral information and emergency help are the most important sources of support for you. Now, Kyle and your grandparents are already moral support for you. Who can you think of that could be sources of information or emergency help?
My grandma's helped me out in an emergency. Kyle would too, I think. Kyle also has a lot of information because that's kind of his job. Sarah's pretty smart, and she already lives on her own, so she's been through all this.
That's great. It sounds like you already have a lot of really good support in your life. And I think that you have a really clear-cut idea of what additional supports you could have that could be beneficial to you, and even who you can go to get that kind of support. Great. Now that you can talk about what you need, let's talk about how we can go about getting it. There are actually 4 ways that have been shown to help people get the support that they need. Can you read those for me on that list, please?
Sure. Ask for what you need, be direct and specific. Add new supporters. As you work on something new, like trying to quit marijuana, you may need new or additional supporters. Lend your support to others. It allows you to get better at receiving support. Give your supporters feedback. Let them know when something is or isn't helping.
Great. These steps are very important by themselves, but you can add them to your other skills and it'll make them work even better. Last week, we talked about assertive communication. Now, if you use your assertive communication skills to ask for help and even give feedback about the help that you already do get, it can help you even build your support even more. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So if we add what we learned last week to what we learned this week, everything will work even better. It's kind of like a pizza. You can have the pizza without all the stuff on it, and it'll still taste pretty good. But when you add all that extra toppings, it's going to taste even better.
Yeah, I get it, and I do like lots of toppings. Except peppers. No way, peppers. Those things are just foul.
Got it. Pizza with no peppers. All right, so it sounds like these concepts make sense to you. So let's look at the social circle diagram. The social circle diagram is going to give you a picture of all the support networks that you have in your life. So I want you to put your name in the middle circle. And then in the surrounding circles, I want you to write the names of everyone that we've talked about today that could give you extra support and how they could support you. That's good. All right, now when you think about who's in your life, either now or in the past, who are some people that maybe should be on this list that we haven't talked about yet? Think about all of the people that you come into contact with in your community.
I don't really think I'd put anyone else right now.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. As we work on this even more, we can always revisit this social circle diagram, and we can talk about ways to enhance your social network if you feel like you need to.
The provider quickly gives a rationale and engages the client in the lesson. In addition, the provider does a nice job of reflecting the client's defense of her using peers and transitions back to the task at hand by asking the client to think of others who may be of support. The scene ends before the provider assigns the real-life practice of committing to seeking and giving support. That last step of having the client ask for help and give help is crucial in turning the discussion into action, thus cementing the treatment experience into real life.